I hadn't decided what color to make her eyes. So we could like put any color in there really. We can make them yellow, we can make them green. I'm going to create a character today, picking 2 random words off of lists that I made of things that I thought would be fun to combine to create a character with. So here we go. So it looks like I got a sunflower nymph. I think that we can work with that. So it actually fits kind of the vibes that I've been feeling anyway. So sunflowers have lots of petals and that brown center that usually has almost like the 2 layers of color. And they've got those big leaves. So, oh, I drew that right on our canvas. Oopsie. Okay, so really what I'm gonna do is get us a new canvas and just use this. There we go. So when my mom grew sunflowers, she had some that were like really dark, like a chocolatey color. She had some that were like pale yellow. And then she also had your standard sunflower. And I think for this, I want to go with the standard sunflower, but we might toss in a few. I don't know how many sunflowers we're gonna draw for the character, but if we wanted to, we could do a few different ones. We can actually go for maybe a brighter yellow and then like a gold on the inner part, kind of inside, and then that dark brown. Actually, I think that green might be a little too dark. So there's a little sunflower for us to refer back to. Well, I mean, I have real references too. It's just, sometimes it warms me up just to do a little doodle. Also, picking colors that I think will work with this. Honestly, I still think that green is wrong. I think I need like a more yellowy green. That works better, I think. Yep, I think that's a better green. So we've got our little green, our yellow, our gold, and our browns. And that's looking very much like the color palette of my fairy June. Probably because I based her off of a sunflower. But yeah, so let's kind of think about an outfit that a nymph might wear who frolics in the sunflowers. So obviously something summery. We could even give her like a sunflower hat. Hold on. My marker or pencil is too big. So if we give her like a sunflower hat, it's something we could do. I think it would be really fun too to give her like a giant sunflower hat. I definitely want her to look very, very sunny. So let me kind of think about some outfits that might kind of go with a summery nymph. I love big flowy like cardigan kind of a thing. What am I saying? And I kind of want to give her one. And maybe it's got like little cutouts in it. And then I mix that with some more like plant-like elements. Like maybe she's got a little top made out of the sunflower leaves, which I should probably get a better look at. So, I mean, to be real, I've felt sunflower leaves before. This would not be a very comfortable top, but she is one with nature, so she doesn't notice. And then her skirt, let's think, what would she wear for her skirt? I mean, there's a part of me that really just wants to do like giant sunflower petals. Oh, maybe she has like a little like flower. I've never worn one, but I see people wear them and I think they're really cute. Those like this is gonna make me sound so old because I don't know what they're called, but they're like necklaces for your waist. I think they're really cute though. I gotta look it up. Okay, so just a quick Google search says they're called waist chains or belly chains or belt chains. So maybe something like that, but with flowers on it. And we can do like a whole bunch of them because, I mean, she's one with nature, so she would make a bunch of like daisy chains, right? And what if maybe they're hanging on to her leaf up here, her leaf top? Her head and her body are not connected, but this is just our little outfit sketch, so scooch it over. So I'm thinking something like that. And then for her skirts, maybe she's got a whole bunch of different kinds of leaves and petals and all kinds of stuff. So there'll be like green ones and yellow ones and just like an amalgamation. Is it amalgamation? Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Amalgamation. Okay. Yeah, an amalgamation of nature. So this is getting kind of messy. Let me erase some of the lines we don't need, just a little bit. I mean, it's just messy. That's just what it is. Okay, maybe a big flower there is a little silly, so let's not do that, but everything else let's do. Let's think about colors. So obviously the big sunflower on her head is going to be sunflower colored. So we got the big sunflower and the little top of the sunflower there. And then we decided that her top was going to be made out of a leaf or leaves, and that her skirt was also going to have leaves and petals and stuff. So the petals we could do, like I said, my mom grew some sunflowers that were darker. I need to find a reference so they can get the color right, but we're gonna toss this in for now and try it. And then she had some that were like really light, almost cream colored. And then she also had regular golden ones. We can have like a bunch of them down there. And these flowers for these chains are probably gonna be yellow. So that we can kind of tie them better into the sunflower vibe. And the overcoat, I'm thinking, is going to be like a cream color. Maybe a lighter cream. Then I have to actually decide what I want to do with her. Because we could give her like a golden head of hair. Kind of look nice and sunny golden. What am I saying? We could even make her a little bit more than that. I think that would just work. And for her, I want her to look like she's out in the sun a lot. Let's see, let me actually get on the layer underneath everything. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll change her hair so that it doesn't blend in too much. We will see. The other thing that we could do with her, because she is a nymph, we could give her any color of skin, really. A lot of nymphs that I draw, I like to give them blue or green skin. Here's what it would look like if she had green skin, because I think that would make more sense than blue for this. However, I think I kind of got carried away. Well, not that carried away, just a little carried away. And I think I am going to go with this version, because I think the green would blend in. We've got too much green, and I want a little bit more contrast than that. But I also think I'm going to give her braids. I just think that would work. And I think that the contrast of having dark hair will help with it not blending into like the rest of her outfit and her hat and everything. And I think it'll still be sunflowery, and I can put like strands of gold through her hair, and I think that I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to start working on the actual pose that we're going to do, and I'll get back to you. So this is the direction that I think I'm gonna go. Just my little sketch of kind of how I want her pose to look. I thought it'd be fun to do instead of a full pose like I normally do kind of a more zoomed in pose. And I think this is kind of where I want my line art to be. I just filled in those flowers that are on her. I didn't do line art for them. I just did like the color splotches because I think that's all I'm going to have them be. But I think this is the line art basically. But I'm going to go in and fill in the silhouette and I'll get back to you after that. Okay, so I filled in the silhouette, but I kind of already chunked out the pieces into their separate layers. Now I just need to go in and fill in the colors with, because we already picked out the colors. Where's my pen? There it is. Okay. Yeah, so I already have them in their sections, and now I just have to like drag and drop basically the colors. So let's get like the sunflower hat and the yellow petals, and let's do the green, the leaves, her skin. I think I wanted to make this the cardigan. Where's the cardigan layer? Oh, I have it above everything. And let's see, we're missing these cream petals and the brown petals. Also her hair and her eyes, which I hadn't decided what color to make her eyes. So we could like put any color in there really. We can make them yellow, we can make them green, we can make them brown. And I am kind of leaning toward brown actually. I think it would be pretty, or maybe even like a golden, like a deep saturated color. That could be kind of pretty. And I actually think I'm going to take this ring out and make it a slightly different color, just a little bit more muted. And then now we can kind of add our gradients and do all of that fun stuff. Although we do need some eyebrow help here. Let's get the eraser and erase out where her eyebrows are. All right, gradient time. So for the gradients, let's start with our skin just because it's the easiest, I think, to start with because it makes the most sense to me. I'm just going to go in with a blending brush to add some of the color, and that might be a little too saturated. Let's try that again. And add some of these gradients. And there's how that kind of looks. I might do a little bit more, maybe with a little bit more saturation. And maybe add a little bit of a darker blush kind of color on her lips. Like that. Add just a little bit of light. I'm just going to merge this all down. And that'll be, I think, pretty good for our gradient for the skin. With her hair, I do kind of want to maybe up the saturation a little, but kind of make it darker at the top and get a little bit lighter as it goes down. Just because I think, because if she's got dark hair, the hair that is the oldest on her would maybe lighten because she's always out in the sun, but she also has a hat, so it'll help with the shadows later too. I think like the combo of the two, kind of like that. Just merge it down. We've got the hair on the back on a separate layer, and we'll do the same thing, but a little bit less exaggerated so that it stays kind of behind her visually. On these petals on her hat, we gotta add some of this golden color in there. And I'm just gonna make that a little gradient as well. I might even make it a little bit more saturated, like that. And these leaves, I think, need some attention. So I'm going to make them a little bit lighter and more yellowy, more toward the end, and then fade up to more of a green. And we'll do that here too, just I think in the middle. And let's grab that normal green and make a little darker version of it for the outer edges and this top part. I think I am going to try putting a cardigan on a hard light layer just to kind of make those colors pop a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see if I end up changing it because maybe I'll duplicate it, make a normal version. Okay, yeah, I think I like that better even. Just have a dual cardigan situation, at least with our layers, right? And then let's see. I think the other petals also need a little bit of love. So let's take this kind of orangey color and put it at the base. And for the cream ones, maybe a slightly more saturated color. There we go. I just think gradients help things like pop a little bit. So yeah, so here's without the gradients, with the gradients. I think it makes a difference. Cool. Okay. Now I think I'm gonna go ahead and merge some of these. So her outfit, I'm gonna merge her whole outfit down. Well, and the stem it looks like. And you know what? I am gonna put her hat on that same thing. The cardigan I'm gonna keep separate because it's got a different opacity going on with it. And her hair, I think I'm gonna leave on a different layer than the other one because its layers are behind. So I can't merge them anyway. But her eyes, I can merge her eyes together. And I made the inside a little bit of a green black, but I can make them a little darker. I can even, sometimes it's kind of fun to add some different colors in there. That's red, but I don't know if I like the red. Maybe a blue would be better. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. And her eyes, like the color of her eyes, I think I do want to add a little bit of a gradient in there too, kind of where the light would hit them, make them really bright, add some more shadow. And on the whites of her eyes, it needs a little bit of shadow too. And I think that works for me, so I am going to group those together and just flatten it. And so now we've just got her eyes on one layer. Yeah, so just simplify things for us a touch. And I think it's always easiest for me, at least, to start shading on the skin layer. I don't know why, but it's just easiest for me. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to start shading with the shell brush, I think, on a multiply layer, but lighten it up a little. Okie dokie. Then I'm going to go over everything on the skin layer with an eraser. I think with the medium hard brush on a lower opacity, and that way we can just kind of soften it a little bit, especially like right here in the middle of her face. And then I can always go back over and darken some of the lines that I think I lightened too much. Just with another layer. Okay, so this is the outfit all shaded, but I'm going to go in with the eraser and soften it up quite a bit, especially because I think I need to lower the opacity already anyway. And yeah, just soften and then go back over, I think her hair, I think is what we'll do next. For her hair, with the shadows, I'm kind of just following the shapes I already have there and darkening the side that's on the right, like this, except for in stripes, if that makes sense. I'm also going to give her some nails, and I think I'm going to make them natural, so I'm just going to lighten them a little and add like the little shapes in there, like on the end and right here at the base, just like that, but on all of them. I might lighten them just a little. Or I mean lower the opacity just a little. All right, and then I'm really wanting to give her highlight, so I'm going to do that now. All right, for her hair, I do want to add a little bit more of a highlight in here. I think around here, I think the light would catch that spot, and here on the front side, and just kind of do that on all of these braids. All right, I think that's probably good for her braids. Let me think. I kind of want to add a bit of a bounce light. But let me merge some of these layers again, like all of these shadows down, and then we'll worry about that. So everything is merged, and I think I'm even going to merge the line art layers. So we're just gonna flatten this and merge that down. And on a clipping mask to it, we'll add some of our bounce light. Just kidding, hold on, I'm going back. I changed my mind. I'm gonna merge all of the color, but not the line art. Except for the cardigan. Okay, because I do actually want the line art still. So we're going to clip to the color and then add our bounce light and just kind of blur it out a little bit more. And now I'm going to merge everything together and then clip on a clipping mask. I'm going to kind of put these together, blur it, and then on a soft light or hard light? Soft light, I think. Just kidding, on a hard light, on a really low opacity. I'm going to throw that layer over the top of everything, and I'm going to adjust it a little bit, I think. All right, so you kind of see the difference. So this is before, and that's after, because I think I'm going to throw a background into this. So I'm going to do something really simple. I think I'm just going to have some giant sunflowers. So let's throw in some color and then we'll make sense of it. So I'm going to throw in on a layer below, not above, kind of a really rough guesstimate of where like the flowers and the stems and the sky would be. Blur that together a little. And I think I want the sky to come down a little further and be a little bit more saturated, I think. I think it would get a little bit darker kind of at the top, and then kind of our flowery layer would be here. But we want it to stand out from her flower, so maybe we lower it even a little bit more so that the blue kind of frames her head flower, her hat flower a little bit better. And then, let's see, let's kind of define this a little bit better. We'd have even more dark spots and some darker spots of our flowers. Some are going to be turning like away, some are going to be turning toward the camera or wherever we're looking, so they're going to be a little bit brighter. I'm going to group all that together, flatten it again, and kind of blur it. And I think I do want to add a few little clouds up there to kind of get that top layer. And I think I'm maybe on an overlay or a soft light, kind of maybe add a little bit more gray or kind of desaturate that back area a little. I'm trying to decide if I want to make it darker or lighter or what. Let's play around with it a little. Maybe add some blue kind of back here. Kind of really pull her apart from the background a touch. I don't know if I like it though. Maybe I don't do that. Maybe it needs to be a little darker. Just right there. Okay, that I think kind of works. And then maybe make her just a little more saturated. And I do, since it's so sunny, I think I want to add a bit more of a sun look. So I'm going to do that on an add layer and kind of carve out, I think, where the sun would be hitting. So her hat, I'm trying to decide how far down it would cast its shadow. And then it would fade out. And then up the top here, it would be really bright. And obviously it wouldn't be quite as bright as I just put it down. I'm going to lock that and add a little bit more saturation here, I think here at the bottom. And on a hard light layer, kind of get more of that sun in here. Okay, I think I really need to redo that. I don't think I did it quite as neatly as I should have. So I also want to fix, I think this leg here, it's bugging me. I want to fix it just a touch. Okay, I think I do like that better. I think it helps for that leg since it's popping kind of out of the shadows to not be quite as desaturated. So I'm going to clip to that and I'm going to kind of decide where the shadow is going to be and where it would hit. So I think that it would be about here. So just so I can visualize. And then we would have the light kind of coming around like that. I think. Then the shadows would be exaggerated here, under these flowers, and then fade off. Okay, I think I messed this up a little bit, so it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be fine. So we'll grab here, fade off. Okay, so I think I need to add a little bit of light on things, and maybe that'll make me feel a little bit better. I think I kind of messed this up if I'm honest, but you know what happens sometimes. So we're gonna keep going. On a layer below, I'm gonna try and add a little bit more like of a rim light kind of situation. Maybe if I've been trying to fix this because I think I kind of messed up, but that's okay. Sometimes it happens. Maybe if I do some more foreground elements, that would help. So, okay, maybe that was the wrong move. Maybe I need to shrink them a little. No, nope. I think that I need to make them a little neater. I was gonna like just blur them so I wasn't worried about making them look super neat, but we need more neatness, I think. Okay, I think I do like that a little better. I think it's a little clearer. I mean, it's fuzzy, but that's intentional, right? What if we even blend it out just a little bit more? That might be too much. I think I want to put a few more sunflowers in the back too. Also, I want to add maybe like a yellow here. I think something that always also helps touch up kind of a piece, at least for me, is I love to put little like speckles and spots on it. I don't know why I feel like it helps so much, but it kind of does. And maybe even a little bit of glitter. And I also think I might crop it too. Here, let me do that. Let's crop a little off the top and some off the bottom. And I think I do like it better, a little bit cropped. And I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. So this is, okay, I can't even remember what the prompt was anymore. I think it was Sunflower Nymph. If I'm wrong, I will put it in text. But anyway, I think it was kind of fun. I did kind of mess it up a little bit, and I'm just gonna let it be okay. It's okay. Not everything has to be perfect. I think I used too many layer modes, and I think it kind of messed me up a little. But anyway, I really enjoyed drawing it though, so I'm still happy. And I also just really like the sunflower aesthetic, so I'm happy. I'll see you guys next week.